Yep, it's me again. They hate us. This is why they give a fuck about us at the same time as always. I am your host, JD Miles. The MGTOWs, they love to hate. Even the ones that claim everybody loves to hate them, loves to hate MGTOW at the same time as always, which is why they keep us relevant to this very day. And I'm back again. For tonight's topic of discussion, old bitter broad mad at the men her age dating younger women. But hypocrisy coming here. And yes, I do mean hypocrisy. Shout out to Anton Daniels. I'll leave the link to the full video in the comment section. Go check it out, by the way. But we got an old bitter broad crying, bitching, and complaining about the men her age. I repeat, you got an old bitter broad mad because the man her age is dating younger women. But one thing y'all need to notice is notice how she completely contradicts herself in the process of making her video. Yeah, I know Anton Daniels ain't gonna point it all out. This is why I'm here to point out the obvious. But enough of me babbling. Let's get started, shall we?
The men in their 50s are probably one of the most insufferable demographics of men out there.
Why? Because you yourself is in your 50s and the men your age don't want you? I can see why you're in your feelings.
These men are unhappy, financially stunted, mentally stunted, emotionally stunted, and still operating as if they are in their 20s. There's a lot of discord right now with younger women dating significantly older men because they think that these men have it together. They think that these men are mature. They think that these men are financially secure, and they think that these men are able to provide them with a life that a much younger man may not be able to do. And that is, in fact, not the case. Right. Most of these men that are in their 50s and they're looking to date significantly younger women is because they are not together enough to even date the women that are in their age demographic. So they go after these younger women to ultimately.
Why does she sound like she's jealous of the men her age dating younger women? Because let's just be upfront and real. Call a ball and a strike. This old head this old head sounds jealous as fuck. And on top of that, let's not also forget you got these old broads trying to get with younger men. Does those same rules apply to those old broads? Or does it only apply to the men in her age range? Let's continue.
Ultimately steal the youth of these women. These men are bitter. They are controlling.
Like you?
They are manipulative.
Like you?
They are extremely unhappy with their lives. Most of them.
Like you, crying, bitching, and complaining on camera about those men? Okay then. And I haven't even gotten to the hypocrisy yet. And I will say this again. Does that same retarded fuck ass logic that's flying out of your old fat lips also applies to you older women trying to chase after younger men? Do those same rules apply? Or is it only for the men in your age bracket? The contradiction is oh so real. Let's continue.
Most of them have not put in the work. They don't have a career. Most of them don't have a home. Most of them don't have the finances. And a lot of
Fellas, there's a jealous girl in our town. Fellas, there's a jealous girl in our town. Boy, I know that. I know that's an old song. But she sound hella jealous. What? She mad? What? She mad that those men going after younger women and not her sorry ass? This is why. This is why she's online. She's online coping and seething about it. I mean, uh, I mean, no, no joke. Everything she's t- everything she's claiming the men in her age bracket is she's openly displaying it on camera. And there's no big secret either. Let's continue.
a lot of them are stuck in their ways and jealous of these women who have their whole future ahead of them.
Ma'am, don't talk about anyone being jealous when you're in front of your camera showing everybody how jealous you are about those men going after younger women. No, 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 no. We ain't trying to hear it. Oh, they jealous of these younger women while my old used up ass is front of my camera being jealous of them. Make that retarded fuck ass logic make sense. Let's continue.
Nah. I think that some of these women gotta just be kind of jealous of the younger women. Gotta be younger because I know for a fact that most men, and I'm speaking like data, statistics. This ain't my opinion. This ain't none of that. We're going to get to my opinion in a second. And I always like to give credit to the content creators. So regardless of whether I agree with it or not, the link is going to be back in the description for y'all to be able to talk. You know what I'm saying? Go and subscribe to her, go check her out or whatever. And shout out to y'all for continuing to send me these videos of this content so that I can actually have this conversation honestly with you guys. I'm going to have this conversation honestly. Make sure you tap into the Patreon link is in the description. Also, teach Henley 40% off your first order plus 20% off for life. Most of the men in their 50s and 60s, and this is statistically speaking, most men don't get into the apex of their earning potential until they're in their late 50s, early 60s. Meaning that you will never earn, on average, more than you ever have in your life until you in your late 50s, early 60s, according to data and statistics. And that is universal across white men, black men, Asian men, across the board. You are in the apex. Now, of course, you're going to have, some anomalies that blow it out the water, and you're going to have some people that absolutely fall by the wayside. But generally, when you compile all of men into one big group, you don't reach the apex of your earnings until you're in your late 50s, early 60s. That is a fact. That is not my opinion. That's just definitively what it is. So she's wrong.
And yes, even I fact checked it. I did I did the research and the analytics. And Anton Daniels is not lying about what he's saying. I'm just here to confirm exactly what he said. Let's continue.
On that. Now, let's get into opinion and life experiences because I always like to separate the two so that I can have a conversation with you guys and better explain to you why women feel this way and why sometimes they are confused. Now, I believe personally that this is just the men that she's used to dealing with. When she says insufferable, what that translates to me is that men are unwilling to deal with the attitude of women that are older because they are stuck in their ways. So anytime you hear this, and it doesn't mean that men are a monolith, so there could be some truth to it and it can be applicable to some men. But for most guys, A, you are more together in your 50s and your 40s than you ever have been in your life. all of the men that I am associated with, and I am a 42-year-old man, and I am very successful in my life. That is not applicable at all. It really is just the circles that you surround yourself with, and the people that
Straight up, I'm straight over here too, and I'm 41. Let's continue.
you surround yourself with. Most men that I know that are in their 40s and their 50s and even in their 60s, they're better off than ever before. They're financially free. They usually don't have any debt. If they don't have any women that's attached to them, meaning that they're not married or in a relationship, often at times they have their homes paid off, they're comfortable, their cars be paid off, and they don't even push themselves when it comes to being visible or being outside. They just comfortable in their own skin. And so as a result, they then have the ability to choose who they want to entertain. There has never been a better time in life to be a man, let alone a black man, unless you're in your 40s, 50s, and 60s. That is the golden age. I know that people say 20s and 30s, but usually when you're in your 20s, especially if you're doing things the right way, you still trying to figure it out. You may be broke in your early 20s because you're just now going to college, you're getting to college. You may have a little bit of debt. You may have to try to figure some things out. You know what I'm saying? You got some ups and downs. You may go broke because you took some risks and stuff like that. By the time that you hit your 30s, that's when you start to really start to put things together. And if you stick around long enough and you actually focus throughout your 30s, that's going to be the growth phase. That's going to be the phase. And this is for you younger guys, because I know that y'all think that life is you want to stay in your 20s or whatever, so on and so forth. That's cool. I'm never going back to my 20s. I'm never going back to my 30s. And it wasn't that my 20s and my 30s wasn't awesome. It was absolutely awesome, right? I had some ups and downs in my 20s. My 30s was absolutely phenomenal. And 40, man, life is great. You know, we sit courtside at the games. We travel where we want to go. We have zero debt. House is paid off. Daughter is 17, about to be going on 18 soon. And so,
Well, I got sons, and my eldest son is 16, about to be 17. But yeah, what Anton Daniel's saying is absolute facts. I mean, for fellas, for those y'all have been down with me since day one, y'all know how I do. From baseball games to flying out, I have zero regrets. But let's continue.
and so she got her car. She's doing well. Her college is already funded and paid for. We're doing some great things. We got bigger goals and bigger opportunities. And that is every guy. And I usually, for the most part, only hang with outside of the guys that I mentor. I only hang out with guys, really mostly women, but the guys that I do know that I'm associated with, they're in the same space. They're in the same boat. And some of us single, and some of us is married, and some of us is just in a relationship and situationship, and some of us is just comfortable. And every guy I know is blissfully happy. Blissfully happy. Now, that doesn't mean that we don't have conversations about what's out here and we're not situationally aware of what the nature of most women are. And I will tell you this, most women that are our age cannot attract the great men that are our age. And that is a fact. That is real talk, real spill. When you get to a certain age and you get a certain bag and a certain swag and you fully developed into who it is that you are, man, the world is your oyster. And when I say the world, I'm talking about locally, nationally, and internationally. You can have and do anything you want. The question is, what do you want and what lifestyle do you choose to have? If you are not under the duress of child support, if you are not under the duress of some chick that is unruly that's around you or something like that, if you are in a space to where you've made the sacrifices earlier in your life to where you basically bearing the fruits of it today, you have the world as your oyster. And what we are experiencing is a disposition amongst women that are our age that is not meeting the expectation. The fact of the matter is, most women at our age are heavier than us. They weigh more than us. They're unhealthy. They're unhappy. Their edges are starting to recede because they're so stressed out about the fact that they got to come out here and compete like us, but they don't have the endurance that we have because we built for it and they not. They then lean into their degrees. I see a lot of women that are older that have an insurmountable amount of debt and they become lifetime students so that they don't have to pay back that debt while their credit is still messed up. I see a lot of women that's getting foreclosed on and they have to compete with women that are younger than them to get the men that they want. And that is the thing that they are bitter about. They going to.
Yeah, and it makes them afraid. It makes them afraid. It makes them insecure. Just like this old broad right here. And furthermore, why she's going around trying to dictate who other people get with, especially the hypocrisy I am about to show later on. But I'm going to let Anton Daniels finish up before I show the hypocrisy. Let's continue.
They're going to sit there and call you insufferable. I guarantee you, right here, right now, I can go out and throw a pebble and get anything I want if I wanted it. It's the fact of the matter is I exercise big discipline because I know that that's not the ideal thing for me. I am wise enough. I am situationally aware enough to understand what's for me and what's not for me. Women are bitter. They are angry because you can trade that 50 in and get 225s. And them 225s is going to have a better attitude. They're going to look better. They're going to walk better. Their knees ain't going to hurt. And they could take the whole thing. And that's just the fact of the matter. Now,
and that's a fact. And that's a fact. And yes, I'm going to stop it right here because I myself need to call out these old bitter broads and their hypocrisy here, because they want to sit in front of the camera, cry, bitch, and complain about the men their age, seeking younger women over them. But here's the question that needs to be answered. What was those old ass broads doing when they were younger? Hypocrisy coming. This. And this right here is the perfect example. What were those old ass broads doing when they were younger? That's right. They were seeking older men. While at the same time, they got old. Now those same men in their age bracket is now choosing younger women. Now all of a sudden it's a problem. The hypocrisy is real. And how were they treating those men when they were younger? Oh, that's right. They needed real men, not little boys. That's how they looked at the men in their own age bracket. And yes, a lot of these old ass broads is getting called out on their own hypocrisy here. How are you going to hate on the men in your age bracket for dating and being in a relationship with younger women when you yourself was doing the exact same thing, out there seeking older men? Oh, I get it. We all get it. It was only okay. It's only okay when y'all were doing it. A simple case of do as I say, not as I do. And fellas, I know I ain't the only one. Who saw this shit when I was younger. I know a whole lot of fellas within these old broads age brackets all saw the same shit. They was going after older men. But now that their ass is older, and now the men in their age bracket is now in relationships with younger women, now all of a sudden it's problematic. Oh, now all of a sudden they're predators. Now all of a sudden they're pedophiles. And keep in mind, those younger women that they're with are over the legal age. Yeah, it says 19, but most men their age is mostly going after 20 to 25-year-olds. And no, that's not underage. If she's 20 If she's 20 or above, she's a grown ass adult. You're just mad because of the fact that you're just mad over the fact that now the men in your age bracket can now do the same thing that the older men are doing when you were young, when you was chasing after them when they were younger. But now that they old and past their prime, now all of a sudden they expect for the men in their age bracket to give them a chance. No. Doesn't work like that. As I recall, on one of my old channels, I actually had a video up showing a 31-year-old woman getting mad at the men her age going after younger women. But what they were doing when they were younger? Okay then. Nope. When they were young, when those old bras were younger, they were out having fun with men in their 30s, 40s, even 50s. But now things switch without belief. Now the men in that age bracket is now getting with women, younger women, within the same age range as them when they were younger. Now all of a sudden they have a problem with it. No, ma'am. If it was okay for you to do it when you were younger, then have several seats and shut the fuck up forever. Because if it's wrong for the men to do it, why the fuck was you part of it? No, ma'am. No, ma'am. Fuck the one-sided bullshit. Fuck the special rules. Fuck the change of energy. If it was okay for you to do it when you were younger, then don't get mad at the men in your age range when they start to date women younger than you. Because if it was really a problem, your ass wouldn't be doing it either. And yeah, that goes out to all you old heads that was out there going after older men when y'all were younger. And we don't want to hear shit about, but what about our sons? Our sons are going to have it. But guess what? That man who is the same age as you, I bet his mother was saying the same thing about you, chasing after older men. And that's a fucking fact. So by the end of the day, nobody's trying to hear the one-sided retarded fuck shit. If it was okay for you to do it when you were younger, then who are you to try to stop them? And I'm gonna end this shit right here. Again, shout out to Anton Daniels. If y'all want to watch his full video in its entirety, I'll leave the link in the comment section. Go check it out. Tell him JD Miles sent you. But that's all I got for tonight. I'm done and I'm out this bitch. Later.